we are going to make, what we're going to do today is we're going to do some face masks. So I've got my standard little guy. Yes, I'm sorry, the elastic's still coming, so luckily I'm allowed to pin his head. But see, we've got the duck-billed one. And we have, how did I lose it? We have the standard one, of course. Boring. Or we have the beautiful, yes, I've pinned the ends because I'm not up to it. So, the wedding one. See, I've made this one a little bit fancy. So as it pops out, it's got little ribbons all over it. And it's still legal. Okay, in Victoria, we cannot have too many people at a wedding, but at least this makes you legal. So, we have our beautiful masks. I've made this with quite a heavy fabric, but I've made it with a heavy drill cotton because drill cotton is much better. I've also done the duck-billed version. I haven't ironed this one yet. I just finished him and then realised, oh, I'm supposed to go live in 5 seconds. Let me fix up that brightness that we've got. Well, look at that colour. Whoops. So we even have our duck-billed one. All these masks will be for sale because why am I going to need so many masks? I've just been given an order to make 27. 27? Yeah, no, 28. I missed one. So, but this is the wedding version. So what we would do with this is we'd fold that over and we'd put some elastic through there. But in this case, because this is a wedding one, what I would do, hang on a minute, let me jump this camera up a little bit. I'd get into my little drawer of, I have a whole drawer of little sneaky little things here. And I would use, I wouldn't use this one because this one's a organza. It doesn't, it's not, it's comfortable, but you couldn't keep it. But if you tied a ribbon around the outside, that would be good. So let's get started. Let's work on Fun Friday. What are you going to do for Fun Friday? The weekend's here. Us people in Victoria have been kind of locked up for a while, so we're going kind of a little bit mad and insane. So I thought I would follow the theme of the insanity and we'd have some fun. So I'm going to just push my camera back for a little bit and then I'm going to poke it down. So what we have got on our pattern is, this is a McCall's pattern that I downloaded from Spotlight. And the reason I have made it that size is when I printed it, it printed it to a smaller size. So we need 2 pieces of fabric, 7 3/4 inches or 19.5 centimetres by 19 centimetres, which is 7.5 inches. So I know for a fact that that is 19.5 centimetres, half inches. I know that because I put the, if we measure it out, we get the ruler out, we can already see that we have 19.5. Oh, that's interesting. It says 19.5. So I did it in inches. Oh, but it's only 19 centimetres wide. Oh, that's because I'm not reading the instructions properly. It says it's 19. And this one here is 7 3/4. Well, that is very interesting. Look at that. I've made a really big boo-boo because that should technically be there. So let's fix this pattern up. And I should have followed I have one of these nifty little cutters that helps me along as I'm going along. So, well, that was a bit of a boo-boo, wasn't it? No wonder it was too long. So what I would do to this, because I've made this one too long, is when I get the elastic that has not turned up because people have panic purchased. So my elastic's on the way. I've got a letter from Australia Post that said so. So that one there should be 19 centimetres, 19.0. And this one across here is 19.5 centimetres in depth by, or 7 3/4 inches. And the reason I put both, sorry, I'll just jump back on here. And the reason I put both measurements on here when I do this is it's not because I'm dealing with, like America or England or, you know, countries that are not using imperial measurements. But when we buy, or for those that are a little few that are amateurs, when we buy these, they all come in inches because it's standard for patchwork quilting to be all done in inches. So when you're working with a pattern, it can be quite confusing, but I'm expected just to convert, just black and white. I think my head there is a bit evil, isn't it? We might turn him around. We'll ignore him. And I know for a fact that patchwork quilting is done imperial, not metric. So if you hang on a minute, I've got another face mask I've done here, which this is the duck-billed face mask. So what I've done here is I've done three layers. I've done a layer of interface and 2 layers of cotton. I've used pure cotton because as they're stating at the moment, pure cotton is better to use. I'm just following what they're stating as from today. This may be something different tomorrow. So it's also, the whole idea of it also is, and normally I use 3 layers with the cotton, and the reason for that is when I blow through, I can't feel any air going through, which means if I know for a fact I don't have COVID, but if I have any bug at all, I'm not going to spread it because it's just not worth it. Let's knock this stuff on the head. So we've got our wedding one here, which is our duck. Whoops, I should put it on the right. Which is our duckbill one. Okay. So we've got. Let's go back down here to our fabric. What I would do also, what we're going to do, because this is a little bit more of a wedding one, as I walk around, we're going to make a purple version. So, first off, because I want the purple to be contrasting, I'm going to use, I've just got to get my fabric, I'm going to use a plain fabric at the back of it, like this. If it's very crinkled like this, if the fabric has a lot of crinkles and wrinkles and, you know, like this, it makes it harder to work with. So just have your iron on all the time. People say, really? Why would you have your iron on all the time? Because you never know when you want to do just a quick squirt will do the dirt. Get those wrinkles and crinkles out, allowing it to work with the fabric easier. And you should always iron your seams out. So let's go back down to our little page again. Let me get that until I get it in the right spot. Perfect. I've got this like that. Let me have a look, make sure everything's in alignment. I've got my grain going this way. So that's exactly what I want. So, and I know for a fact that I either want the grain of the fabric goes across the center or down the middle. The bias of the fabric goes, and that's the bias because it has that stretch. So what we'll do here is, because normally people would use pins, but I've been doing this for so many years, I don't often use pins. These little blades, if you got one of these work so well because it just cuts the fabric so quickly. So I'm going to use that as the edge. I will then get this one. I line it up because I've now got a line here. I can now, can everybody see? I've now got a line there. So I know for a fact, see, look how crisp that is. It's much easier. Whereas if I was to take a pair of scissors, I'll cut the other side with a pair of scissors. Let me get this underneath the camera. And if I was using scissors, I would not cut it freehand like I'm doing now. I would use pins. And because I'm going to do this other side, and because the fabrics move, I've got to make sure everything lines up because I shifted the fabric. I would pin that, and we just take a pin and we pin it to the corner, like so. And then we take the other one, pin it to the corner, like so. And you can use as many or as few pins as you would like to use. I would suggest you also get a decent pair of scissors. People try and do this stuff with cheap and nasty scissors, and it's really hard work. These are a German brand of scissors called Mondine. How do you spell it? It said, I can't even read it, isn't it terrible? Mundell scissors. But they're a German scissors. I've had this particular pair of scissors about 10 years. So this little darling pair of scissors, 10 years. But as you can tell, I'm reasonably good at cutting out, so you can still use scissors, but it's not the same crisp edge because as you go down. But when you're cutting your fabric, don't go clink all the way. Go halfway through the scissors. Don't cut your pin, of course. Halfway down, and the reason for that is it creates a nice line. But you can see how the blade was really sharp, and the what was I going to say? So that this ends up much crisper. But whatever you do, don't. That's a very sharp blade. They're very dangerous. So let's get rid of that. And because we want to make this another lace version with purple in it, I need to cut a layer of purple. So, and I apologise now because both my dogs have just decided to come back inside. So, we will pin a piece of lace like so, and we've already, guess what, we've got our perfect template for our pattern. So I'm going to cheat again because I love cutting the lace. I prefer cutting the lace with and because I'm a cheapskate, I like not wasting fabric, because that could be 25 other pieces. I might need that little bit of minute fabric later. So, actually I've changed my mind. Oh yeah, no, I'll use the blade. See, this is what art's about. Art's about being a bit different. So I am selling these face masks at the moment for family and friends. So if you want a very unique face mask, I can assure you nobody else will have one like mine. Might be a similar shape, but it's not going to be the same colour or size. So if you like this purple one, let me know. Sorry, excuse my arm. My arm is in the wrong spot. Whoops. And, of course, I'm going to give you the pattern. In the directions, I'll get the lovely Camille to drop the instructions down in the, make me a PDF so that, Just realised what I was doing. That was mine. See what I was doing? I was trying to get the blade on the wrong side of that. So I now have that. And look, I'm now going to have the most beautiful, let's pop this back up again, the most beautiful, beautiful, unique face mask. So what we do first, I should pop this back down. You don't need to see my mug. So what I'm going to do is that is on the inside. This is a bit different from me making wedding dresses. I'm making face masks. We all kind of do what we need to do in this environment. This is as you can tell, this is quite a heavy drill cotton. So you only need 2 layers. I'm going to just put a pin there to hold that side. A pin there to hold that side. So that I can automatically just put them together like such. So if we weren't live, I would put the video on pause, and you would come back with a bit of a better delay. But for now, what we're going to do is we have my trusty industrial sewing machine. So we go over here, and what we've got to do is, because the extra 1/4 of an inch or 5 mils we've got goes in the length, because we need to fold over, where have I put one? We need to fold over this part here. So therefore we're going to lose some distance, some edging when we fold it over and reinforce it, so once the elastic comes. My elastic is going to come. I've been told it's in the mail. So I love my little trusty electronic sewing, industrial sewing machine. Yes, I know you guys out there, we don't all own industrial sewing machines, but I'm a little bit greedy. On Fun Friday, this is Fun Friday, I actually own 5 different sewing machines. It kind of comes with what we've been doing, how we've been, my career. My career has been, I'm a qualified textile artist, but I also have a degree in pattern making, dressmaking and design. So I make wedding dresses. I don't do many of the wedding dresses these days because that's my choice. The little fingers are getting a little bit hard to handle. But as you can tell, I've used a nice heavy drill cotton so it's still breathable, but it's not, it protects people from me. That's what the Victorian government needs at the moment. So what we do is we've made ourselves, see, look at a little cylinder. So let me cut that thread off. So we've got a little cylinder, it's like so. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure we get the right side of the lace, and we're going to pop it through, like so. Now, a lot of people get quite confused when they're trying to iron something like that. But if you put the seam like so, and, whoops, my iron's turned off. Hopefully it turns back on again. This is the problem when you sort of have your iron going as you're going along. See how I've flattened the seam out? I've done it so that it will be completely flattened out, so that when I come through to iron that flat, like so, and do you think this is going to make a pretty good wedding type face mask? We're going down again. Here we go. Off we go. So we've got our face mask. We have to split it into sections. So the first section we'll do is, normally you would put the elastic in first, but like I've said a couple of times during this kind of demonstration, is I've been let down by Australia Post, so my elastic hasn't turned up. But all I'm doing is creating pleats on the end. And if you look at a normal face mask, one that I can't use anymore, see how it's got 3 pleats. You don't have to have 3, you can have 2. I've got a black one I've been using that you can have 2. The other thing you don't have to do, the other thing you can do also is you can have a bandana. As long as you protect your face, and in Victoria at the moment, our face masks are compulsory. So I've made a mistake, so that's got to be quite high to the top. When you get my pattern, when you get the pattern that I'm going to drop in the comments, it's got the markings on the pattern so that you know where to put the pleats. This kind of comes with the fact that I have 40 years experience as a dressmaker, that I can kind of judge where to put the pleats quite easily. So, as you can tell, we would turn, that's this side, as you can see. I'm hoping everybody can see nicely. And on this side, because I want that to start, I want the fabric, all 3 layers to stay together, I kind of put the pin in there just to help me, just that little bit. So now, as long as I don't put the pin through my fingers, and we've got another, whoops, stretch that out. The lace I've used on this one, this is quite a stretchy lace. As you can tell, it's got a bit of a stretch to it. It's not a huge stretch. It hasn't, I suppose it's just got a little bit. So you've got a little bit of flexibility because of the weave of the lace. So now what we're going to do is we're going to create a second pleat. And we're going to use the pin the right way because the other way causes blood on my fingers. So as you can tell, we have made ourselves a very different but elegant face mask. So let me take little Miss Dolly off here. We'll take our little, we'll get her a bit, whoops, let me get her. So I do apologise for my little golden retriever. He's being a little bit naughty today because I haven't got the elastic, which I really want. But as you can tell, when you look at the face mask, the wires at the top, I don't put wires on mine because I am not doing this for a medical grade. This is not a medical grade face mask. This is a face mask so that we can go out walking, we can go to a wedding, we can do anything we want to do. But as you can tell, that's going to stick across the top of the lines, and see how it's going to concertina out, making a face mask. Sorry, it's very hard to do this backwards. And something very, very different. So, what do you think? Let me know. I'm quite happy to drop you the pattern. DM me, and I'll personally send you the PDF, and you can easily make yourself, in this case, because I'm in the wedding industry, this is a wedding mask. So, what we've also got, I'll just put Mr. Dolly down, Mr. Head's Dolly down on the ground. I've also created a pattern for the duck-billed mask. I won't go into the duck-billed mask today because we'll be here forever and you will get very, very bored with me. There's only so much of my face you want to look up to. But so we've got a duck-billed mask. This is a large version. So that's this guy. The advantage of the duck-billed masks is you can, let's put the camera down again a bit. What you can do, instead of putting elastic on the side, you can fold that up, pleat that over like so. You've still got a lovely face mask that is keeping you. And instead of, like I said, instead of making, having elastic, which a lot of people at the moment are complaining about the backs of their ears are getting a bit sore and rubby. So this is where we could easily grab some ribbon. I've lost my ribbon that I had before. We can put some ribbon like so, and if we were to tie that like so, and we cut that piece off. By the way, I would use another piece of ribbon like so. You sew that, you attach it to the other side of this one, and then of course what you can do is you can tie it round the backs of your neck. So I should have used a different colour on my little dress dummy. It's a bit hard to see, but as you can tell, you can tie it. I wouldn't use organza. It's just that it was the easiest ribbon I could pick up. But if I was to do this for a wedding, wouldn't that look quite pretty if you've got the face mask at the front and you've got this beautiful ribbon hanging down the back? You could even put some diamantes on it, so you could jazz this up any way you would like. And that's, I know in Victoria at the moment where a lot of people are going, why us, why us, why us? Well, my theory is, let's just not say why us. Let's get into our own brain and go, well, there's nothing we can do about it. We don't want to celebrate COVID, but we must follow the rules. So make yourself a very unique mask, something very, very different. So it can be a duck-billed one. DM me. I'm happy to give you the patterns. I will send you the pattern. I'll just make a PDF out of it because I, of course, haven't made my PDF yet. Or you can do something a bit different, which is my beautiful bride's mask. Whoops. And, whoops, I covered her eyeballs. And we can have something with a bit of ribbon on it, something very different. So this is my give to my audience at the moment. I want to give back. I want to support you at this time. I can see Nadia's on, and I know she's in WA, so she's in a safe state, whereas we're not quite in a safe state at the moment. It's a little bit out of control. So I want everybody to be ready worldwide. Create yourself some face masks. Let's kick this COVID thing right in the butt, because we don't need it. So we're going to do everything we can do to support our medical people, all the people out there that we need to support. And our little bit of support is to, let me put this down again, to create ourselves a little face mask. Let me do it this way. Let me put it on and then I'll turn it around, because I'm having a little bit of trouble doing everything backwards today. My hands are not working the way I'd like them to work. Usually I'm okay. I teach online all the time, so for once my hands are just... By the way, it's really good when you've got a styrofoam head and you can actually stuff the pins into the styrofoam head. But as you can tell, we will put that so that you can see it. Here's the little eyeballs. It's a little bit high, isn't it? Let's push it down a little bit. The nose is covered, and we're following all the rules that we can possibly follow. So I just wanted to say, hey, I'm glad you were here for my Fun Friday. If you're watching this in replay, please DM me, especially if you want the pattern. If I can help you at all, it's an interesting time at the moment, but I'm still planning weddings with other states. I still do things online. I haven't disappeared. I'm not disappearing, and we're going to have some fun together. Anyway, this is Beryl from Forever Yours Flowers saying, hey, it's Friday. It's Fun Friday. What are you going to do for the weekend? And please let me know. Maybe we can do a Skype or a Zoom or something. and I can teach you something. Anyway, this is Beryl signing off. If you want the patterns, DM me. Love to you all. Stay home. Stay safe. Hang on. Wear a mask. And soon we'll be out the other side. Bye for now. Bye.